Back in early 2004, Carrie Elizabeth Johnson was only 19 years of age when cast and crew members of the hit TV show CSI Las Vegas came into a restaurant, Black Angus Steakhouse, on Hospitality Lane in San Bernardino, California. It was her first civilian job after graduating both high school in Redlands, California, as well as advanced individual training from the United States Army Finance School in Fort Jackson, South Carolina, back in 2003. She was a regular front desk hostess Monday through Friday when an older black male cast and crew member came up to her on his way out and said, "Hey, you look like you should be on TV. We are filming over here at the local Redlands theme park, the TV show CSI Las Vegas," which at the time the theme park was named Pharaoh's Lost Kingdom. He said, "We will pay you, but it's only minimum wage, but who knows, this could be your start out." Ms. Johnson accepted the offer to make some extra money, considering she was only making $8 an hour on a 40-hour work week at Black Angus Steakhouse. She eventually showed up on set for a daytime shoot that lasted into the early morning hours of the following next day. Ms. Johnson never expressed as a child any interest in acting, drama, or theater, which also carefully reflected in her selected choices in classes and extracurricular activities growing up in both Missouri and California. She had her general education courses every semester that were required of her, and the choice in picking electives that either piqued her interest or she felt was a class that she can get an easy grade in. However, she does acknowledge her love of music and dancing at an early age, in which she does not credit her absent biological father as influencing her interest in both singing and dancing. It ran in her bloodline on her father's side that her earliest memories of him was as a musician and former St. Louis radio personality. Her father was known to play the guitar. Her father was known to play the trumpet, as well as having different musical instruments lying around his room that included the guitar. Carrie later picks up guitar lessons in her late 30s at her local guitar center, not out of childhood nostalgia, but always had a genuine interest in learning how to play. Throughout Carrie's attendance at Delmar Harvard Elementary School, Ronald E. McNair Middle School, and Brittany Woods Middle School, her after-school extracurricular activities did align with her interests back then in music, dance, and cheerleading, and not that of acting/drama in TV, films, or theater. Ms. Johnson goes on to exit what was back then in the 90s a predominantly black school district in University City, Missouri, and entered a predominantly all-white school district that was Parkway School District. A quiet and reserved Ms. Johnson did not pick up any extracurricular activities while attending Parkway Northeast Middle School or Parkway North High School. She was still adjusting to going from an all-black school to an all-white school district. When school was out, her mother did not impose heavy demands on her while she went to work. Her mother could trust her to stay at home by herself and follow her mother's house rules while she was at work. If she did not attend summer school under Parkway School District, her summer vacations were spent lounging around the house, doing chores that consisted of cleaning, listening to music, watching TV, going to the movies, and a family road trip to visit Chicago. She would spend hours in her room, either listening to music or recording various artists' music videos and award show dance performances that she would learn the choreography at home. Growing up, Carrie closely watched choreographers Fatima Robinson, Tina Landon, Lorianne Gibson, and Blake McGrath, all of whom at some point in their careers worked with Janet Jackson. Her mother came home from work one day to share some news of her company, GE Capital Mortgage, was being bought out by Wells Fargo Mortgage Company. Her mother, Barbara, probably spent a decade working at GE Capital Mortgage before being offered to relocate from the St. Louis office to the Wells Fargo Mortgage Company office located in San Bernardino, California. Carrie was both optimistic and naive about her move to Redlands, California in the year of 2000 when she was just 15 years old. Entering the Redlands Unified School District at the age of 16, Ms. Johnson now saw a representation of Black, white, and Hispanic Americans in high school for the first time. She was eager to get into the entertainment industry when she first arrived in Redlands, California, and responded to an open call ad in one of the Inland Empire newspapers that were looking for models. The ad was semi-misleading and turned out to be a Barbizon modeling school that rejected her when she was only 16 years of age. Carrie's feelings of being rejected and discouraged did not last long before she entered her high school talent show at the age of 17. Redlands East Valley High School showcased some of their students' artistic capabilities in the form of a local talent show. Carrie was one of 6 teenage girls performing a dance routine to a 3-song compilation that included Shantae Hill Alaloma, Brittany Dickerson, Ashley Hibbler, Ashley Jones, and Shimmery, all dancing on stage in front of students, parents, and former alumni. Her last performance at the age of 18 was singing the national anthem in front of her graduating AIT class of 2003 that both faculty and parents were in attendance. Her high school talent show marked Carrie's last performance in front of an audience on stage in high school, and Delmar Harvard Elementary School being her first time ever performing either singing or dancing in front of an audience. Ms. Johnson perceived student clubs, tryouts for cheerleading, or extracurricular activities outside of her required studies as serving a purpose of keeping her out of gangs, drugs, self-destructive behavior, or engaging in violent acts that would either be harmful to herself or to others. Age 17 was also the age Ms. Johnson impulsively and without thoughtful consideration or research signed up for the California National Guard on a 6-year active and 2-year inactive reserve contract. Shortly after graduating high school in 2003, Ms. Johnson was put on a plane to Fort Jackson, South Carolina to fulfill the second portion of her training as part of her California National Guard contractual agreement. She graduates advanced individual training as a financial management technician at the age of 18. Ms. Johnson returned to her mother's Redlands, California apartment in August 2003, still fulfilling her 1 weekend per month and 2 weeks out of the year with the California National Guard. Eager to find civilian full-time employment, Carrie calls up one of the girls from the talent show performance named Shantae, who had a car, and asked her if they could go look for jobs together, since Ms. Johnson did not come back with enough money to buy her own car at that time. Both Carrie and Shantae applied for positions at Black Angus Steakhouse, but Carrie was the one offered the position for full-time employment fall of 2003. There was never a moment that Carrie could recall her mother either demanding or asking for her to start paying rent right after graduating high school and AIT. She gradually saved up enough Black Angus paychecks to purchase her first vehicle, which was a light blue Toyota Camry 80s model, to get to and from work. Months into her position as a front desk hostess and food runner for Black Angus Steakhouse, Ms. Johnson checked into Pharaoh's Lost Kingdom for the first time as a paid background TV extra. She remembers going into movie theaters to see veteran actor William Peterson in the movie Fear, opposite Mark Wahlberg, as well as the movie The Skulls, opposite a young and attractive actor named Paul Walker. Carrie felt she exhibited a certain level of professionalism when taking either direction or instruction from crew members on set. Again, prior to working on CSI Las Vegas, she had no formal acting training or coaching, and throughout K through 12, Ms. Johnson's actions or words growing up did not align with any interest in joining student clubs such as drama club. What does reflect on her undergraduate transcripts outside of her concentration on paralegal studies or forensic accounting was dance appreciation being taught by an openly gay white man at Riverside Community College. The episode that Ms. Johnson participated in as a paid background TV extra was titled Turn of the Screws. It was shot months prior to its original air date on May 6, 2004, and this occurred before she met her baby daddy in St. Louis, Missouri in October 2004. Shortly after filming, Ms. Johnson felt it was time to enroll in a local community college to improve her personal finances so she could move out of her mother's apartment. She had established a steady work routine as a full-time front desk hostess while balancing her California National Guard part-time obligations, and made the decision to register for orientation at Crafton Hills Community College located in Yucaipa, California back in 2004. Based on societal standards, Carrie believed that to improve her household finances, she needed to pursue a higher level of education. It was taught in school that to get a job, then you must have a high school diploma or a GED. If you wanted to make even more money, then you must pursue a higher level of education. A car accident occurred in Yucaipa, California while Carrie was on her way to register for classes was not a foreseeable life event. She suffered severe injuries that included a broken arm, on crutches, leg brace. That Black Angus Steakhouse restaurant only gave Ms. Johnson a couple of days to recover before having to return to work. At that point in time, Ms. Johnson had only been working for Black Angus for less than a year and had not built up any vacation leave for emergency circumstances. Ms. Johnson's 80s model light blue Toyota Camry was not recoverable and was not worth paying to get it out of the junkyard. Ms. Johnson did not end up staying with Black Angus Steakhouse and put in a 2 weeks notice to go back home to Missouri for a while in 2004. She put in an interstate transfer from the California National Guard to the Missouri National Guard and continued her weekend drills. It was not long before she was on active duty service work orders in Missouri at the St. Louis MEP station on May 3, 2004 to September 29, 2004. She was receiving an E4 pay grade that was paid on the 1st and the 15th of each month and had established 90 days worth of pay stubs to take out her first car loan with AmeriCredit. It was her second vehicle that she worked for and purchased on her own on September 18, 2004 that had a monthly car payment of $218.11 per month. Her position as an ADSW within the National Guard office at the Robert A. Young Federal Building in 2004 was providing administrative support to 4 male National Guard guidance counselors and not being an actor. However, Ms. Johnson was in the state of Missouri watching the episode Turn of the Screws air on television, in which she voluntarily participated in as a paid background TV extra.